She's
Just like damn.
now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
Damn. I mean, not just damn at 7 a.m., but damn. I mean, there have been injuries, and we've watched. I mean, last night we watched a game without Trae Young, right? Kawhi hasn't played. Kyrie went down, but there was no collective damn, I don't believe, that was comparable to what we all kind of witnessed and probably heard and did and gasped. And I don't know how what you said out loud, but when you watched Giannis go down yesterday, because that was damn. And then you watched the replay and you saw that knee bend the other way, and you went, ooh. I don't know. That's what I did anyway. What's up? It's whatever day it is. I think it's to be Wednesday, Bob.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Back in the day when we used to get the newspaper in here, I literally, like, that's what the newspaper was good for me. I would look at the top. And then remember that day it was wrong? It said Tuesday on a Wednesday or whatever. It's Wednesday on the opening drive. 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. I don't know about you, but of all the injuries, whether it's, I mean, Kawhi and the All-Star team that's gone, more so than when Anthony Davis went down with the groin injury, watching Giannis crumble was that damn moment for me.
I'm tired of the injuries. I am ready for this postseason voodoo.
Yeah, then end it.
To just be done. I just want to see basketball. And due to the injuries, we have seen some amazing responses from teams this postseason. Teams coming together, overcoming deficits we didn't think they could, whether it's losing a superstar player or being behind in a series. So the basketball has been tremendous in terms of true team comeback, players stepping up. And that's what happened in the Atlanta Hawks. In the first half, Giannis was playing. It was Lou Williams in a starting lineup responding. It was 6 players at the end of the night scoring in double figures. So the Atlanta Hawks responded before Giannis went down. So that is something that I appreciate. The unfortunate situation which we are in, seeing all these injuries, but seeing all these teams and players rise to the occasion on the biggest stage in so many different areas has been unbelievable. But I am so tired of seeing the best players get hurt at the same time, because it's just such a bummer at this point.
It is a bummer. So, yes, but if that makes sense. So I too hate seeing people get hurt. I do. I am so over the Twitter narrative of, oh, well, this is just tainted championship, and because I'm watching good basketball. Like I got it. I'm not watching Kawhi, and I'm not watching Kyrie, and yes, stars have gone down. And this is going to be the deepest team, to your point, the team that responds the best. Maybe it'll be the healthiest team that wins. Is it a battle of attrition? Yeah, it is this year. Is it different this year? It is. Do you want to place blame? Go ahead and knock yourself out. You also wanted to see basketball. Like you can, everybody who's yelling and placing blame and it was too quick of a turnaround. And look, COVID made everything imperfect. Nobody forced the players to go out and play. They collectively bargained the short off season. They went out and this is where we are. Did Giannis hurt his knee because of the quick turnaround? Like, it's so hard for me to sit here, and I guess I have to have a bunch of doctors explain to me how the quick turnaround, Giannis hurt his knee. What I'm tired of, because I'm with you, I'm tired of seeing guys go down, but I'm tired of hearing the narrative, well, this isn't just a true champion, and no, it will be a true champion. It'll be as true a champion as everybody else is, because it'll be a full team effort, it'll be a battle of attrition, it's going to be, who's deeper. You're right. Anthony Davis went down, and Kyrie Irving went down, and James Harden went down, and now Giannis Antetokounmpo went down, Trae Young is down, Chris Paul was out for a while. You're right. But I'm watching pretty good basketball every night. Like, it's not like I'm watching garbage, and I've been entertained, and to me, I like the fact that there's new blood in there, and it sure as hell makes the storylines interesting. Not one speck of me likes watching these guys go down. Not one. But I'm so over the narrative that should be an asterisk on this year's champion, and that it doesn't count. It's not real, and it's tainted. And the NBA blew this because I'm over it.
And that talking point's out the window now, because every team that is left in the conference finals has an injury. So every team is dealing with it. There's not one team now that will not play a game without a star player, because I'm not expecting Giannis in the next game. So there was a sense of that and a lot of people discussing that, but now everyone is dealing with it. So pretty much, unfortunately, everyone gets to go through the same thing without their best player and or second best
Except for
player.
Phoenix, kind of.
Phoenix played 2 games without Chris Paul.
They played the 2 games without Chris Paul, but now they're back
finals.
to full health. Yeah, now they're back to full health, and they won those 2 games, by the way. Trae Young was out yesterday, and they were winning without Trae Young, with Giannis on the floor. And that's why I watch the Clippers without Kawhi, and I watch Paul George step up. I get it, man. This is the NBA more than any other game, is a game built on superstars. And so I as much as anybody else, I dislike seeing these guys go down. It sucks. Like, I get it, man. I'm never a fan when a guy gets hurt. But I'm really over that narrative that the Twitter's been yelling at me for the last couple of months about, the NBA screwed this up and what'd you want them to do? I'm listening. What'd you want them to do? Should they not have had a season? Well, everybody wanted to get paid. Everybody wanted to watch basketball, right? Here we are. And by the way, they're going to turn this thing around quick again next year. Because they decided, and you and I have had this conversation countless times, they've got an opportunity to move their schedule back to start in December, have a relatively full off season, and kind of adopt this current calendar as their regular calendar, which you and I both agree would be beneficial to them, right?
Yes.
And they've opted to not do that. That's fine. That's fine. But you're going to be without, I don't know how severe Kawhi's injury is, but you're going to be without Giannis for a while. I mean, who knows? Yeah, like guys get hurt. Guys get hurt. Go through the history now. Is it at a different pace? It feels like it is. Although, didn't we see something last week that told us that the amount of injuries is not any greater than in a regular year, but it's the profile of the players who are being injured. I mean, look, man, you can make an all-NBA team out of Giannis Antetokounmpo and James Harden and Kyrie Irving and Kawhi Leonard and Anthony Davis. I mean, right? Those are all first and second team all-NBA guys who went down. Klay Thompson's been down all year. I mean, do we blame that on the quick turnaround?
No, there's stuff you can't ignore, because this is not what we're made to do.
Yeah, I agree with
but when it comes to landing on someone's foot, stepping on a referee, hyperextending your knee backwards, to me, those we can't necessarily discuss those as like the muscle things that happen, non-contact. Oh, I just tweaked my hamstring. Yeah. That's just, it's going to happen if you're going to play sport, and we're going to have to play sports at some point in time. And this talking point of, well, the quick turnaround, if that was the case, then none of these guys would be playing in the Olympics, or they would have pushed back on the season starting. Is there a small thing I think we could talk about? Yes, but that is not why we are in this position with superstars not in the playoffs.
Who were the Final Four last year? It was the Nuggets and Lakers, and it was the Heat, and who was on the other side? Do you remember? Was it the Celtics? I honestly don't remember in the bubble who the Heat beat in the East. I don't remember if it was Milwaukee went out before that. So I believe all the Final Four teams are out. I'll give you something to it. Like the quick turnaround, it was there's nothing positive for the body about it. But meanwhile, you all want to watch basketball. We all want to watch basketball. We're all watching. And I refuse, just like I refused in last year's shortened COVID baseball season, not just because the Dodgers won, but because I said it throughout, they played a season, they all played it. I refuse to put an asterisk on this. I refuse. This is a battle of attrition. I almost look at this as a greater achievement, if you want to look at it differently.
Basketball survivor.
Right? Who was deeper? Who had guys step up? Where did Lou Williams come from? Where did Bogdanovich step up from? Paul George becoming playoff P in a completely different definition of that. I'm just going the other way on it. I because I'm watching the games. You're all watching the games, and honestly, I'm not one that just loves to sit around and gripe. I'm just not. But I'll listen to you about it. We got to get into this game last night. what it meant. We'll actually, get into what Lou Williams did and what Bogdanovich did and what it means. I've not yet seen something that tells me Giannis is out yet. I saw what my eyes told me. I saw his knee bend the wrong way. You ever hyperextended your knee?
Yeah.
It hurts a lot, and it takes a minute. Now, it could take a couple of days. It could take a couple of weeks, assuming there's no structural damage, right? And that's the piece that you're going to find out today. Typically, and again, typically does not mean every time. When you're talking ACL or ligament damage, it bends sideways, right? You watch that knee buckle and go sideways. The knee this time went backwards. It bent the wrong way. It's painful. There's damage, but sometimes, JJ, and look here, I'm not going to pretend to be doctor on here. You avoid some of that major surgical repair needed damage. I guess we'll find that out today.
Yeah, and that's the hope, that it could be a situation where they sit him down for just a game, keep their fingers crossed as Atlanta did, that you get the performance, you see the response. But even before the injury, the frustrating Milwaukee Bucks showed up once again in that second quarter, scoring just 16 points. Now, that's the team that we keep going back and forth
with
on.
Giannis.
Yes, with Giannis in the first half. And that's where I credit Atlanta. What they did when Giannis was on the floor, the response, the way the Hawks came out in that first half, the players that showed up. By the way, for Bogdanovich, the last 6 games, he's averaging 5.6 points per game. It's up at 20 points last night. One of 6 players to score in double figures for the Hawks. That's a team that responded before the injury and then took advantage of what happened in that third quarter, outscoring Milwaukee 36-24. But again, that's the positive out of the negative. And the way that so many different teams have responded on the biggest stage, losing their best player, is a credit just the teams and their resilience.
All right, we got numbers for you to get in today. Bobcat will take your calls at 505-246-0610. That's also the NMDOT text line. You can send text to that same number, 505-246-0610. Emails this morning, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the Twitter, JJ's a great follow, _JJ Buck. Facebook, the OD in the AM. You can watch the show there. Aaron's producing on ProView Networks. You can watch on ProViewNetworks.com, Comcast Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico, and, of course, on our Facebook page. Get into the game when we come back because the Hawks responded without their best player, or at least without their best player. They responded even before Giannis went out. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Here's a 1-2. That's lifted, well hit into the gap. This might clear the bases. It's going to bounce off the wall, and it will clear the bases. A bases clearing double off the bat of Nico Barella. Got the glove on it. Squeezes for a second. That's tapped on the ground. Might be academic. They'll flip it to first in time for the double play ball. Huge lead. There's the pitch. It's low. Runner going on a delayed steal, and he's going to be out at second. One-two. The runner moving. It's pulled down the line. This might be trouble, and it's a fair ball. Sandoval coming around. Coach Pineda going to send him to the plate. Here comes the tying run, and he scores. Sandoval. The throw gets away. Cooper will go to second base, and we're all tied at 6 as Sandoval scampers in.
Hit so far. That ball is driven deep to right center field, and it's gone. Second home run of the inning for the Cougars. They've got 5 runs in, and Siembieda has come roaring back here at the top of the 3rd inning. 2-run home run for Jalen Montez.
All right, so what about that series now? Because you may see a Game 5 without both stars, both superstars, the Hawks and the Bucks. Hawks beat the Bucks last night, 110-88. But that's really not the story. The story is Giannis going down with the hyperextended knee. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, 2-time MVP, crumbling on the floor in a scene that was horrible. And with Trae Young on the bench for Atlanta after stepping on an official, a referee's foot in the game prior, and they said he tried to go, couldn't. I'm not going to lie, I was surprised he didn't go. And this is why you can't just gauge injuries by looking at them, right? I mean, we've seen stuff that looks so much more heinous. I always go back to the crash that killed Dale Earnhardt, and you're like, gosh, I've seen so many worse accidents than that, right? In car racing, and that one looked like your stock crash, and he didn't walk away. So you just never know. But in the game, Trae Young and Giannis out. Lou Williams 21 points. Bogdanovich had 20, and heck of a job by Nick McMillan's team. They responded, and this series just continues to swing.
Yeah, and that's the story of the postseason, who's able to step up. Now it shifts to Milwaukee. They're talented enough to respond. You still got Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday leading away. And then you look at, all right, are you going to go really small? Is it going to be Pat Connaughton? Are you going to go Forbes? What is adjustment from Mike Budenholzer? But a lot of it, too, is then just on your character and your resilience. Because in that first half, the frustrating Milwaukee Bucks showed up where you're just like, why are they not taking control of this game more? And that's kind of the back and forth situation we've had on Milwaukee this entire postseason. Are you ready to trust them? Are you ready to believe that they could be the best team in basketball? And now they're going to be tested unlike they have in this postseason. Because I'm expecting Giannis to at least miss a game with the knee like that, or at least not be 100% if he does take the floor in Game 5, and we'll see what they got.
Are they good enough? Because I look at both these teams without their stars, and I take Trae Young away from the Hawks, and now take Giannis away from the Bucks. I mean, you would say typically neither team's good enough to win a championship, but I'm looking at what's going on this year, and they might be. I think the Bucks are better than the Hawks. I like what the Bucks have in the backcourt with Holiday and Middleton. I don't know that I trust. Although Brook Lopez has played well, but after that, what do you trust? I look at the Hawks. It's still a toss-up, right? I mean, it is. If this is a game plan without Giannis, and you're going to say, all right, Brook Lopez has to do this, and
Brook Lopez is the least impactful starting center left in the postseason.
The least impactful starting center.
I think he's averaging like 4 rebounds a game, If he doesn't hit some threes, he's not going to be on the score sheet. And I get it's the role they ask him. They want him out of the way. Clear the lane, let Giannis get to work,
now it
get inside. But now that's got to change because you saw at least Clint Capella, he's like averaging double-digit rebounds or flirting with that. You see him being more of a defensive presence on the inside. And if you didn't see last night's game, the play that sums up everything that happened to Milwaukee was Clint Capella falling out of bounds, hitting a shot over the backboard.
Yeah, like a horse shot. Like call it over
Yep,
the backboard.
that is a night for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, I mean one of those over the backboard, looping shots that you call in horse. I don't think this is the scenario because I think Trae Young's back in Game 5. Play me the scenario: Trae Young and Giannis are out for the rest of the season, rest of the series. Who do you like?
Rest of the series, I like Milwaukee because I still think they would have the two best players
in Middleton and Holiday
on the floor. And I don't think that Lou Williams at this point is going to be able to give you 35 minutes and 20 points each night out. And Bogdanovich, is this a turning point? Because he's another one of those players that's been grinding. And he's been listed on the injury report every single game. He's been available, but he's had kind of a bum knee. But I think the big thing for him is the opportunities came the last two games, and he finally cashed in. He was 6 of 14 from 3 last night because they need his shooting. They need one of those guys to step up. As I mentioned, he was averaging 5.6 points per game in the last 6 games, and he's someone that started the playoffs so well in that backcourt. Bogdanovich did for the Hawks. I'm still on Milwaukee, but this is a true toss-up without those two guys on the floor.
All right, you're going to get Clippers and Phoenix tonight. Clippers dealing with their injuries. Zubats is questionable. I think I saw somewhere Kawhi is out, right? I'm assuming he's out. I thought I saw last night that he had been ruled out. You're dealing with the Phoenix team that's the healthiest. The Phoenix is the healthiest team left. Chris Paul missed 2 games because of the COVID stuff. Devin Booker's healthy. DeAndre Ayton's healthy. I mean, Phoenix is your team, right? You and I both feel if they don't close this thing out tonight in Los Angeles, going back to Game 7, while it's a toss-up, my money would be on the Clippers.
Phoenix needs to win this one tonight.
I think so, too. And I'm not sure they do.
It's, all right, get Ayton involved early, get him going, adjust to what the Clippers just did. Devin Booker has got to find a way to deal with it. Your face is busted, man. That's not changing. So get comfortable early.
And I guess there's your injury, right? I mean, so your star's injured there, too. Yeah.
And Chris Paul, this is his moment because we've been talking about you as the playoff MVP. And the last thing that Chris Paul needs to be dealing with is being up 3-1 in a series and heading to a Game 7 against the Clippers team that at this point in time, we are taking nothing away from them. They have responded, they've answered the questions, but Kawhi ain't there.
I don't know if you saw this. This was after Game 4. I believe it was an ESPN game, so I think it was Rachel Nichols who did the post-game interview with Chris Paul and said something about, now, Chris, you guys are up 3-1. He said, no, I don't want to talk about 3-1 leads. I've been here before. Like, he brought it up. There's a lot riding on this for Chris Paul's legacy, isn't there?
Absolutely.
I mean, everything, the narrative coming in was, yeah, that's great and all, but, right? Yeah,
and he'd be right back there.
Yeah, and he'd be right back there while Paul George would have created a whole nother chapter on the positive for his legacy and erase the playoff P if they get through. If Chris Paul, I mean, I think most people look at it at this point and say, look, they're without Kawhi. You got a young Devin Booker. You've got an emerging DeAndre Ayton. You've got Crowder, and you've got look at these guys you get coming off the bench. Payne is terrific. Craig has been good. Like this is your team. You've got to win. You've got to at least get to the finals this time, and then you're going to get to the finals. And you're going to play a broken team there too. I mean, everything's set up for Chris Paul and Jake from State Farm to get a ring. Boy, that would be a great commercial too, because then Jake from State Farm could protect the ring and how you're going to ensure the ring and Dad, what are we going to do with the ring? We go, well, I got this, Chris. Jake from State. I mean, there's good commercials there, right? You got to get one first. I think so much. Like, there's a lot on him.
Yeah, you look at
a lot on him tonight.
The games 3 and 4. So his first 2 games back after sitting out.
They won the first two without him.
But Chris Paul, 5 of 19, then 6 of 22 before going 8 of 19 from the floor. So it looks like he got a little bit of that rhythm back offensively. That's what they need, him to be the tone setter. But it's Ayton, Booker getting going. And defensively for Phoenix, all right, Paul George is going to get his. Fantastic. Got to defend Reggie Jackson. Can't be two guys coming at you in the fourth quarter. Yeah. That's how they win this series. In this moment right now, for these four teams, I think the Clippers probably, if they lose, are the team that says we can be back here.
So you think the winner tonight? I mean, obviously Phoenix wins it, but you think the winner tonight wins the series?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Phoenix wins, it's over. So they win. I think you're right,
because this moment for the Hawks, for the Suns, and heck, even for Milwaukee, man, because look how close they've been the last few seasons. Like, this is as much as we sit here and we like the stars and the foundation, it could quickly never happen again. We've seen that so many times. So this is, if you're Phoenix, you have to take advantage of this moment, and especially now Chris Paul. What's his decision? Is he going to go chase it with someone else? Like, it's just so many different things. Like, tonight is a moment for Phoenix that again, they might never get again.
Look, if Chris Paul falters, and I say if Chris Paul falters, if the Suns don't get through, Chris Paul's not going. What's he going to chase? What's he going to? What's his number next year? 42.1 million. What's he going to chase? Who's paying him? I told you a week and a half ago. Let's have this conversation after the series and see if it changes. This conversation will change if he doesn't get through this series. I don't even think that's arguable. Yeah, you were really good. But you didn't get him over the top. Where's he going? Clippers? He's not going back to that. And he would go chase something. He's not going to go on a discount to go join the Lakers for a discount. He's going to get paid because he's already in a good situation where he's going to get paid. Where's he going to find a better situation and make more money?
That is the giant question.
I mean, now, if he won a championship, you got another story. He's not chasing that championship, that piece of his legacy that still needs to be filled. But where's he going to find it? I mean, I'm listening. The Warriors are trying to do something. We'll talk about the Warriors when we get back, and it involves a former Aggie because there's news reports all over the place. But where's Chris Paul going that he's in a better place and going to make more money? Because the only reason for him to opt out would be to go make more money. More than, what, $42 million that's guaranteed him next year, Bob? 42 is not enough. I don't want 42. I need to go make more money. It'd be nice to be in a position to say, 42 is not enough. I'm worth more than $42 million this year. 505-246-0610. Love your thoughts on the NBA last night. Giannis goes down, and you did a collective uh-oh. And I get it. We'll get into that. We got a lot of the international soccer was great yesterday. Ukraine and Sweden. Dodgers went 3-1, but the big story is Trevor Bauer almost had a no-hitter. We're 3 outs away at Coors Field last night. Larry Brown's back in coaching. I got all kinds of stuff for you. Level football to talk about. 505-246-0610. July starts tomorrow. Out and moving, holiday weekend. How you feeling? Hopefully you are feeling ready for everything that's coming your way as we start to open up and move around. Gentlemen, if you're not feeling well, I suggest you call NewMail and you can feel like you again. If you're dealing with things that are natural, things like fatigue or low T, erectile dysfunction, there's a place right here in Albuquerque that can help you. It's called NewMail. NewMail has been the trailblazer in the men's health field for years. They will help you, but you have to call them. Because they will not call you first. You have to call them. 505-652-1688 is the number. Or you can visit them at NewMail. That's NUMALE.com. You will feel better. As you age, gentlemen, things like hair loss, weight gain, even ED happens. There's a good chance that you're going to be affected. Nothing to be embarrassed about. In fact, the only thing to be ashamed of is if you don't do anything about it, especially when there's something so simple and so effective to do. Call NewMail at 505-652-1688. NewMail's right here in Albuquerque. It is a comfortable process, but the best part of the whole thing is the results. The results are real. It works, and men all over the country are benefiting. Call NewMail at 505-652-1688 or visit newmail.com and feel better.
Long look in. There's a pitch. That's in the air. In shallow right. Very aggressive as Gerard Pineda will have a play at the plate. Oh, what a hose in right. The ball was waiting for him as he came home, and he was dead to rights.
2-2, nobody out. 2 runs in. There's the pitch, and that's up the middle. No, right to Francois. Back to second for a double play. That's a good play by Francois. 0-1 to Araceli Morales. There's the pitch. Morales swings, hits to Vela. What a catch by Vela in right field. Vela coming to her, running to her left and diving.
This one swing, it's going to go straight. Let's see if it falls, and it looks like the catch was made, and indeed it was for the third out. Sprawling was Kayla Reed for the third out. What a play. Garcia prepares, deals, and she swings it. This one looks ding dong doink. Yabba dabba doo. Grand slam by Mia Flores. Four ribbies for Mia as she just unleashed on that softball.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of no-valent
Even the series of 2 games apiece, Giannis goes down. Now what? You can get into that. 246-0610. It's 505-246-0610. Your emails come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. We were talking about the Tony Kukoc thing yesterday and Scottie Pippen. We got a text. Came in right at the end of the show. How did Tony Kukoc do with that last shot? The Bulls win the game? The answer is he did well, and they won the game. He hit the shot. So, yes, got that in. 505-246-0610. All right, let's hit the phones. Howard, good morning. How you living, Howard?
You know, I'm doing all right, guys. Did you get that tree cut down?
It's in the process. Dan was over yesterday, and I guess you got Courtney's coming over, and we're gonna get this thing figured out.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm headed to the airport. So if they're going to engineer that, you're going to have to do without me, Jeff. So
I don't know how are we gonna do it without you. Where are you going?
I'm going to Cincinnati. We're going for a convention. There's about 3 couples. We're going to go watch some Reds and Cubs baseball. We're going to take a little motorized cart around the town and stop at different little pubs. And, you know, I might even have a beer or two. You know, I've been known
might even have a beer or two in the motorized pub. Can I go over? Over the 2? I'm going to go over 2.
You're coming to Cincinnati?
No, I'm going to take the over on the over under on 2 beers. I'm going to go over
on the beer?
Yeah.
Well, you better. It's going to be the over under's 10.5. I'd go over if I were you.
I would take the over as well. I would. Nice.
There you go.
Enjoy Ohio.
It's going to be a nice weekend.
Good.
Not going to be a nice weekend for Milwaukee. I think they're in a lot of trouble if Giannis is done. They looked really absolutely lost with him out, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think, you know, the game plan so much revolves around him being there, right? So that you get a day of prep and to go and do something different. I'm not going to tell you it's going to look fluid and easy, but Jay, don't you agree? I mean, everything they do revolves around him, and so how do you expect him to look, you know?
Yeah, they're in that situation like everyone else that. How do you respond? The Hawks did it without Trae Young. Now, as you mentioned, they have that moment to reset and see how they're going to play.
Good point. And I think something they can hang their hat on is Chris Middleton did take over the previous game and really kind of took him on his shoulder. So, who knows? Maybe he can do it again, right?
Yeah, again, Giannis is such a big part of that. Yes, and I think a lot of it, you know, is Trae Young there. Because do you expect that out of Bogdanovich and more so Lou Williams every night on the other side? So
that's it. Hey, well, you know what? I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of trouble on my hands next Tuesday morning because I didn't put any time, put in for any time off with Edward or Dan. So
you're in trouble.
I'm just going, I'm kind of going AWOL here. But
you're in trouble.
You know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to have me a good time. I hope you guys have a good, safe 4th of July. Talk to you next week.
Be safe travel. See you. Howard called 246-0610 on his way to Cincinnati. How's Cincinnati in August? Here in July. It's humid, right? Hot, humid. Why'd you give me that look? You been there?
Never been there.
Never been to Cincinnati?
No.
All right. Midwest, 4th of July, sticky. Sounds that way. All right, you see what the Warriors have you? There's reports all over the place on NBC Sports, on Bally, on all kinds of places about the Clutch, Sportsnet, that the Warriors are looking to utilize their picks and last year's first-round pick. And it sounds like Pascal Siakam is the guy that they're targeting. They've got the 7th and 14th overall pick. It sounds like Wiseman, their lottery pick from last year. So that'd be 3 lottery picks, right, to try to get Pascal Siakam. And they're calling Toronto. Does that work for both teams?
I think if you're Golden State, you're in a fantastic position to get in those conversations. Of the lottery teams that won outside of the team got the number 1 overall pick, I thought it was Toronto and then Golden State. As well, 7 and 14 don't necessarily wow you as potentially a top 3 pick. It's the ammunition that Golden State has to get into these conversations, whether it's a Pascal Siakam or a player of his caliber, that you have those pieces plus a Wiseman. So absolutely, I see why Golden State would be eyeing, Pascal Siakam as a number 3 over Wiseman. At this point in time, you're getting an established player that's won an NBA championship that knows how to play opposite a superstar, which is what you're going to have to do with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and that is Siakam's best role. Like, he's a really good player, but he's never going to be a number 1. And they were kind of lacking that wing player that makes a difference. Like Andrew Wiggins is a roller coaster ride. Kelly Oubre, before his injury, was a letdown. I thought he was going to fill that role. So I'm all in on a potential Pascal Siakam. And if you trade Wiseman and say number 7, I think that's a win for the Warriors.
So 7, 14,
but
and
I also think if you're Toronto, you're sitting there at 4 going, if we keep Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry's at the end, he's going to be like 35, so you can get a couple years out of the veteran. Is Wiseman and 7 and 4 set you better off than Siakam, Van Fleet, and 4?
The answer is Siakam sets you better, I think. I don't you? And so what would they offer? Would it require both pick? I don't know what the value of 14 is, but would the 7th and 14th pick and James Wiseman, last year's lottery pick, or is it just 7 and Wiseman? I mean, do you keep 14? It's like, does it matter? I just keep thinking of the Warriors with Pascal Siakam, with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, what Andrew Wiggins could be, or are we done thinking Andrew Wiggins is going to be something?
Well, at this point in time, you're fine with Andrew Wiggins. He's like 4th dude out there. Just don't mess things up.
Then all of a sudden, I mean, assuming, you assume health, right? You assume Clay's coming back up.
Championship.
I mean, that team can win a championship, right? That's a team that went from play-in to assuming healthy back to the best backcourt in the game. Correct?
Yeah, and so that's a move, too. If you're Golden State, you're hoping that Toronto's in for a bigger reset. Because if you're trading Pascal Siakam, then you got to potentially think, all right, maybe Fred VanVleet.
You're turning the whole thing over.
And I don't think they're there quite yet. So 7-14 and Wiseman, is that enticing enough? It gets the conversation started, at least.
Yeah, I think it does. I think they've got to listen, and then they got to figure out what it is they want to do. But I think it'd be incredibly intriguing. And I think Golden State's going to make some sort of a move. Some sort of move with those picks to bolster what they're doing. I don't think it's a Damian Lillard, but I think they're making some sort of a move to bolster themselves and figure this thing out. And that's where the Ben Simmons conversation comes into. I think Ben Simmons would be on their radar as well.
It's time to make a move and bolster yourself. We're talking about F45 training. What does a 45 stand for? Well, it's just 45 minutes. In 45 minutes, get high-intensity interval training that's fast, fun, and results-driven. The new program is awesome. I like the workouts we've been doing over the last couple weeks, and you need to get in there and check it out yourself and see what it is all about. The new program is a different variety of sets and tempo ranges, but they hit different things throughout the week. So if you show up on different days, you're not to be stuck doing the same workout, potentially overwhelming just one aspect of it. It's full body functional training. They're going to hit strength, you're going to hit cardio work, many different things throughout the week, and it's going to cost you just 45 minutes. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app today to take a look at the Northeast Heights location right there, Paseo I-25. Good access from wherever you're coming from in the city. You can also sign up for your 7-day free trial on the app. Just get in and check it out and see what it is all about. In just 45 minutes, you're going to get yourself a fantastic workout that's going to push you towards your fitness goals. Check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app today. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Discover matches all the cash
help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of No-Valent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Billups addressed the sexual assault allegation from 20-something years ago yesterday as he was introduced as the Portland Trailblazers head coach. Penny Hardaway staying in Memphis. He was rumored to be up for the Orlando Magic job, and then he got Larry Brown to come with him. How about that? Larry Brown, when Kenny Thomas was talking about, when Kenny came on our show and talked about how he wanted the Lobo job, didn't he? He mentioned that Larry Brown would come with him, right?
He did.
So Larry Brown evidently was looking to get back in the game as an assistant and helping someone out, and he's going to be on Penny's bench.
The best thing for Penny Hardaway is that he's already established himself a little bit. He's shown he can do this, and he can bounce some things off Larry Brown. But as great of a resume as Larry Brown has, like, there are way too many speed bumps on that to look at Larry Brown and think that's going to be a game changer for Memphis basketball.
Why do you discredit it so much? Like
He doesn't have a clean resume.
Well, okay.
Collegiate athletics.
Right, but he can coach. Right? I mean, I don't know. Do you think what is he, like 80 now? I mean, is he out doing whatever? I think he's there as a mentor to coach at this point. That would be my guess. But I think there's a lot of positives. He's been a heck of a coach. You're right. His track record is not perfect as far as his NCAA chart, his folder, yeah. JT, good morning.
How's the sports animal fam today?
Life's grooving, man. What's happening?
Just cruising the highways and byways of this state. Hey, I'm super jealous of Howard, man. What's he doing? Beers and baseball already?
Yeah, he's on his way to Cincinnati.
I'm doing my trip, and I'll be at the Dodger game in August, so I can't wait.
Right on. That's a good spot.
As far as the NBA, Jeff, I can't figure out the Bucks, man. I'm like, this is their time. Everybody's saying, like, this is your time. Like, okay, the little man's out for the Hawks, but, they poop in the, it's like they're both them and the Suns are going to mess around and lose their series. And that's the series that I wanted to see. But the Hawks are talented, more talented than the Bucks across the board, Jeff. They're young, and they don't know no better. So the Bucks better, figure something out, because now Giannis is hurt. If Atlanta gets that game, I've been saying in the East, they're talented, man. Across the board, the white dudes, everybody they have can shoot the ball. And they got an amazing coach, defensive coach. And then as far as the Suns are concerned, that was the game that they had to have. Now, you can't kill the Clippers all of a sudden. So it's just like they're both going to mess around and lose it, but it's exciting. It's exciting. I love it. But anyway, I got to go.
Right,
you guys have a great day.
Be safe. And the white dudes can play, man. I think that's why they're in the NBA. I think that's why they're
more than just a shooter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why they're there. Yeah, I think. Best roster left. If you say Clippers without Kawhi, Atlanta without Trey, Bucks without Giannis. Is it Phoenix?
Best roster left is Phoenix.
Yeah. Should be right.
And Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton.
Right. And then what Craig's giving him, what Payne's giving him. I think that's right. After that?
I think we need to be talking about Jay Crowder a little more than Torrey Craig.
Okay. Jay Crowder's been good too, yes. But my point is, yes. My point is, I agree, they're deeper. They've been giving you more.
It has to end tonight for Phoenix.
Because if they go to Game 7, man, all of a sudden everybody gets super tight. All of a sudden there's way too much there. All of a sudden everything's riding on it. That's right. All of a sudden you start hearing, he blew a 3-1 lead before in the conference championship. And
who would I trust in a Game 7? How about that guy that's responded 3 times already?
Is that Paul George?
And Paul George.
See?
And let's give some credit to Reggie Jackson.
Mr.
Balling.
October? Oh, wait, the other Reggie Jackson? He was Mr. June. Is he going to be Mr. July? 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I got some baseball to talk when we get back. Thought I was watching no-hitter Coors Field last night. Well, I was. Until I wasn't. Trouble for Trevor Bauer. It's got nothing to do with baseballs and sticky stuff. It's the opening drive. We're on ProView Networks. Aaron's producing there. Bobcat on the radio side, 505-246-0610. That's how to get to us. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacalm.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Here's a 1-2. That's lifted, well hit into the gap. This might clear the bases. It's going to bounce off the wall, and it will clear the bases. A bases clearing double off the bat of Nico Barella. Got the glove on it. Squeezes for a second. That's tapped on the ground. Might be academic. They'll flip it to first in time for the double play ball. Huge lead. There's the pitch. It's low. Runner going on a delayed steal, and he's going to be out at second. One-two. The runner moving. It's pulled down the line. This might be trouble, and it's a fair ball. Sandoval coming around. Coach Pineda going to send him to the plate. Here comes the tying run, and he scores. Sandoval. The throw gets away. Cooper will go to second base, and we're all tied at 6 as Sandoval scampers in. Hit so far. That ball is driven deep to right center field, and it's gone. Second home run of the inning for the Cougars. They've got 5 runs in, and Siembieda has come roaring back here at the top of the 3rd inning. 2-run home run for Jalen Montez. Long look in, there's a pitch. That's in the air. In shallow right. Very aggressive as Gerard Pineda will have a play at the plate. Oh, what a hose in right. The ball was waiting for him as he came home, and he was dead to rights. 2-2, nobody out. 2 runs in. There's the pitch, and that's up the middle. No, right to Francois. Back to second for a double play. That's a good play by Francois. And 0-1 to Araceli Morales. There's the pitch. Morales swings, hits a Vela. What a catch by Vela in right field. Vela coming to her, running to her left and diving.
This one swing, it's going to go straight. Let's see if it falls, and it looks like the catch was made, and indeed it was.
Close the gap to 1.5 now. Dodgers behind the Giants. Well, everybody's talking about the Dodgers and the Padres in the National League West. It's been the Giants who have quietly, and I say quietly, relatively quietly, had the best record in baseball, sitting atop the National League West. They're still a game and a half clear of L.A. at 50 and at 29, and are still the only team in baseball at the 50-win plateau as of today. But 2 wins by the Dodgers leapfrogged them over the Padres, who had LA's number. But that's not the biggest story involving the Dodgers. Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Bucks got beat last night by the Hawks. That series is even 2 games apiece in the Eastern Conference Finals. 110-88. Biggest story in that night was Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, the 2-time MVP, leaving the game with a hyperextended knee. Status for the rest of the series uncertain. But I think you and I agree he's missing at least a game, right? As we sit here and play doctor.
When you see that.
Yeah. Trae Young missed the game for the Hawks. He may or may not be back for the next game, so that's 2 games apiece. You'll get the Clippers and the Phoenix Suns tonight. Big win for the Dodgers last night. That it was a little 2-game series, but it felt like a bigger than just 2 games in the middle of a week, didn't it?
Yes. Especially when you're going up against San Francisco Giants, a team that is not going away, is still sitting atop the standings. It was a big 2 games.
All right. The bigger story concerning the Dodgers is Trevor Bauer. Their starting pitcher is now facing allegations of assault by a woman, and it stems from a sexual encounter earlier this year. There's a investigation by the Pasadena Police Department. Trevor Bauer lives in Pasadena. Evidently, this occurred in May. Could be turned over to the district attorney's office by today. You listen to both attorneys, both sides of this, talk about it. The attorney for the woman involved, and the name is out there, and a lot of places are using not to use it. But the statement from the alleged victim's attorney, quote, "Our goal is to keep Mr. Bauer from contacting our client in any way possible. We anticipate there will be criminal action against Mr. Bauer, and it's hoped that law enforcement will take our client's allegations and case seriously." That was the quote. There was a relationship between Trevor Bauer and this woman. Trevor Bauer's lawyer put out a statement, said that there was a sexual relationship between these two, that it was consensual, that they've got, quote, messages from the woman that show repeatedly her asking for rough sexual encounters involving requests to be choked and slapped in the face. In both of the encounters, the woman drove from San Diego to Mr. Bauer's residence in Pasadena, California, where she went on to dictate what she wanted from him, and he did what was asked, end quote. This is going to get sticky. This is going to get nasty. There was obviously a relationship, and if there was physical, like if there's pictures of her physically, you got a rough situation. And if there's text messages, and which is what it sounds like, Trevor Bauer or anybody in these situations never win, whether he's found to be guilty of this or not, because now he's associated with it. But this is the
well, I think
that's already out
to
there.
your point of if there's conversations, then I think that changes it. If in this case it was a consensual relationship, that they were doing whatever they wanted it to be, so I don't think it would necessarily hurt Trevor Bauer like it would if there wasn't evidence.
Right.
If that happens.
If in fact she drove from San Diego numerous times to be with him, and
they have
got
conversations
these
about what they wanted their relationship to be.
Right. Yes. And as you sit here and judge it on what you know,
I'm not going to judge.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't.
People are,
and that's my thing. That's fine, but that.
No, I understand.
Even in this forum, I'm not going to drop opinions on stuff like this right when it comes out.
I'm with you 1,000%. These come out, and there's 2 sides to it, and I will never jump to conclusions after that. All right. Had you ever heard of? And I don't even know that I've heard of him now. Kai Tom. Is that his name? I'd never heard of him before.
Not until the 9th inning last night.
He was batting about $136. He plays for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Bob. Spelled K-A''AI, last name Tom. Came up, and German Marcus was pitching a no-hitter for the Colorado Rockies last night. Trevor Story made a terrific play. There were some plays behind him, and you're going, okay, this is going to be a special night in a horribly unspecial season for the Colorado Rockies. We got a special night. I saw on some of the bottom lines on the screen, no hitter going on. I said, let's flip over. The basketball game was uninteresting. Dodger game had just started. Addie, let's watch a no hitter. And she's like, I'm going to call my buddy Luke and ask him about the Pirates. No, not until it's over. Don't curse the no hitter. She's like, no, you're right. And clean single by a 136 hitter to lead off the night. It was a bummer. Marcus was terrific. He struck out 5, walked 1, 92 pitches, complete game, shut out 1 hitter. He was terrific. Man, I wanted to see the no-hitter, didn't you?
And by the way, 2 for 4, 2-run scored in RBI.
Yeah,
batting.
But pitchers can't hit.
Marquez.
Pitchers can't hit.
Most pitchers can't hit.
Yeah, because they don't want to.
It was a tip your cap moment for me. Good job. Great effort because you got the job done. And last night showed you that I don't know if the Rockies are ever going to be able to throw a no-hitter at Coors Field because they had everything you need to finish a no-hitter. Great defensive plays. Trevor Story had 2 web gems on the day. His leaping catch, you figured, all right, this is happening. This is the moment. Unfortunately, first batter of the 9th inning, pokes it in the right field. There it goes. But a 1-hitter for German Marquez on 92 pitches is incredible. That is efficient baseball. Defense doing his work. And as you said, it is a gloomy year for the Colorado Rockies. Absolutely tip of the cap to you, German Marquez.
You had everything going on a night where you got offense, terrific defensive plays. Oh, and you had a bad team on the other side. Maybe a team worse than you.
Record-wise, they are.
Yeah, maybe a team worse than you. Everything was going your way. And Kai Tom came up to lead off the 9th. And you'll remember that name forever if you're German Marcus. 8-0, though. They won the game. Nice win for them last night. Trevor Story, 2 RBIs. He was one of 5 Rockies with 2 or more hits last night. Charlie Blackmon went 3 for 4. 2 runs, an RBI. Marcus is 7-6 on the season with a 3.62 ERA and a bright spot. I don't know. I mean, who's going to call and say, hey, what can we give you, a bag of balls and you can pay, I don't know, half his salary and we'll take him from you? Is that cool?
Everyone, Trevor Story is available and we'll give you $60 million.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we'll give you a bag of balls. It's unbelievable.
Not as bad as I thought they were going to be. Terrible on the road. I thought we were looking at potentially the worst team in baseball for Colorado.
No. There's some bad teams in baseball. There's a worse team in their division in Arizona. They are. Yeah. When I looked at it, I said, okay, there's going to be 2 bad teams. I didn't realize that they were going to be 11.5 games clear of Arizona by now. They're 11.5 games better. As bad as the Rockies are, and they're bad, 33-47. The Diamondbacks are 22-59. The Diamondbacks are the worst record in baseball, 272 winning percentage. The Diamondbacks on the road are brutal. Now, the Rockies are worse overall on the road. The Orioles are bad. The Orioles are 26-54. The Rangers are really bad. I mean, there's some really, really, really bad. The Pirates are really bad. I mean, there's 5 teams that are just, wow. They're horrible. Like you look, tomorrow's July. So we're almost halfway through the season. Are we playing a full season? So they played 78 games. That's about half the season. You shouldn't have this many teams 20-something games back. 2 teams, one team 23 and one team 29 games. I mean, it shouldn't be that way. But they're really, really, really bad. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. United plays tonight. Isotopes are off tonight after playing last night. Euro was pretty exciting yesterday. You want to give a little recap when we get back on that?
Absolutely.
Because there was a terrific finish. I even had it on. Ever since I was on the conference call the other day, Bob, where the boss says, all right, I'm going to give everybody back time because the game just went extra time. Everybody go watch a soccer match. I'm like, whoa, it's the company I work for. All right. So I kind of, see scores late in the day, and I'm like, all right, I'll watch the back end of this match to see a result.
It would have been better if he'd done that a half hour earlier.
Yeah, it would have been better because they'd have got back on schedule instead of the 121st minute. But that's what makes it so fabulous, so remarkable. Right? That's what makes it so good. That's what I'm told. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Garcia prepares, deals, and she swings it. This one looks ding dong doink. Yabba dabba doo. Grand slam by Mia Flores. Four ribbies for Mia as she just unleashed on that softball.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of no-valent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis.
Give me the roster of the team. The two teams that are playing in that Lobo event a week from Sunday at the Pit. What are we calling this?
The All-Star game,
right?
Alumni Challenge.
I'm down with All-Star Alumni game. So the Enchanted, the TBT team, the basketball tournament team that's going to be competing here in a couple weeks for the $1 million, the New Mexico-based bunch of former Lobos, but other players. And then the team against who they're playing is a bunch of former Lobos. I saw Elijah Brown's coming back. Did you tell me Jaquan Lyle's on the team too?
Yeah. On Twitter the other day, they announced the roster for Team JB White, who that's the squad the Enchantment will be playing, and among the names, Elijah Brown, Jaquan Lyle, causing a little buzz because all of a sudden it's an all-star alumni game. But definitely some people that Lobo fans are going to be rooting against.
So hit me with the team JB White, is that the team that's going to the TBT?
No.
That's the other team. All right. So hit me with the TBT roster. Do you have that?
Yes.
All right. So this is one team. And again, this is a week from Sunday at the Pit. It's going to be a pretty big night. So this is the team that's going to go and play in the TBT that you're going to watch on TV. Is what are they, the 8 seed, the 9 seed? They're playing that 8-9.
Yeah, they're the 8 seed.
Yeah.
Taking on the Stillwater Stars.
All right. And so this roster is pretty nice.
So the roster that was announced last week, these are the commitments as of right now that they have for the TBT. Jamal Smith, J.R. Giddens, Philip McDonald, Darrington Hobson, Drew Gordon, Pancake Thomas, Tim Williams, Anthony Mathis, Anthony Jackson, Michael Holyfield, and Matur Maker.
Okay. And the last two were not Lobos, but they have New Mexico ties, right?
Holyfield does. He played at Manzano. Maker is not associated at all. They just needed an athletic dude on the wing that has a relationship with Brandon Mason, so they got him on the roster.
All right. So the team against who they're going to be playing, and this is a really, really interesting, eclectic group of guys that they got.
Yeah, from fan favorites to not fan favorites.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
Roman Martinez to Jaquan Lyle.
Yeah, some of your favorites and some of your least favorites. All you need is Cullen Neal on this roster. Honestly.
Yeah. And this is one where I love that getting the energy and excitement. TBT it's just like pure basketball. You have your head coach, Kenny Thomas, to be coaching the team. You have squads that have played together, but a lot of these teams are maybe going to be together for like a week. So it's just classic. All right, show up with your squad so you can run the gym the longest. It's just fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Who do you got on that other team?
So Team JB White, the team that the Enchantment will be playing. Is that the roster?
Yeah.
Okay. So what they announced on Twitter earlier this week was Chad Adams, Roman Martinez, Joe Furstinger, Darren Prentice, Abacha Jet, Drew Scary, Devon Williams, Chad Topper, Jamal Fenton, Jaquan Lyle, Xavier Adams, Elijah Brown, and Sam Logwood.
So it's just a random group of guys, right? That you're, yeah. Oh, okay. How's the Lobo fan going to greet Elijah Brown and Jaquan Lyle when they're announced? Just curious. I mean, all these guys are going to get cheers, right? I mean, Ramon's back, and Chad Topper. Oh yeah, we love Chad Topper. Oh, Chad Adams is back. Yeah. Oh, Bacha Jet, what's up? Oh, boy, what happened to him? Right? I mean, just how do Elijah Brown and I'm the other one I'm going to be interested that's on the other team is Anthony Mathis.
Yeah.
How he's welcomed back into the Pit after UNM went and got him that extra year, and then he's like, all right, deuces, I'm going to Oregon. I'll always be a Lobo, but I'm going to Oregon. Right? And then Elijah Brown, the way that ended, and he went to Oregon. And the Jaquan Lyle thing, where did he go? Well, he was out of eligibility, but I mean,
he was playing overseas.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be really, really interesting to see. That's next Sunday, huh? Yeah, we'll get some of that in here over the next few days. I think we should probably have a steady run of guys, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this because it's just pure basketball. It's like, all right, let's show up with a squad and see who can run the court the longest. And I know Lobo fans are excited, so that's nice to see. There are a few Aggies playing on multiple teams throughout the tournament. I saw Jamario Jones is on a squad. Troy Gillenwater.
Yep.
I do think that for a team from New Mexico to actually win $1 million in this tournament, you might have to combine the roster, like get some of those, like make it truly.
Who would you want from down there? Team? Gibson and Jamario Jones and Wendell McInnes?
Yeah, Jamario Jones, 100%.
No, I love the way Jamario Jones. I love the way Wendell McInnes plays.
Dude's going to play defense and rebound, and that's something
what Wendell McInnes did.
Yeah, in this tournament, if you got a guy that's all in on doing that, that's big.
Yeah, and give me a couple of their scores.
Yeah, this is one where if you haven't seen the TBT, and if you're just a Lobo fan hearing these names, you're going to get excited. It's going to be eye-opening when you watch it because there's some squads that are like, wow, especially Cody Toppert's squad, who's the number 1 seed,
Who they would get
Everline
in the
Drive,
second round if
who
they
they could
win.
potentially see in the second round. This is a fun tournament, man. I love what they've done with it.
I think that's it will be eye opening. The players you see and some of the names, some of the names that you're gonna start hearing as you get closer to it. Yeah. All right, let me get you some emails. Dan has a different take on the injuries in the National Basketball Association. Not necessarily that it's been a short off season, but he thinks the postseason is too long. He says Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Gato Roberto. Maybe the injuries are because the tournament is way too long. How about going back to the days where the first 2 rounds were best 3 out of 5? You know, I'm not a big fan of that, but maybe there's something to that. I know the NBA loves that the playoffs go, 2.5 months?
And playoffs are long.
And they kind of take it over, right? If you go hockey and basketball, and this is the way it's going to be because so many teams you keep adding teams. The NFL's a month, right? You got wild card weekend, divisional weekend. It's just conference championships, a week off, and then the Super Bowl. So it's 5 weeks from the end of the season till you're done. This thing feels like this is a whole other season. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, baseball. I want to say it's 3 weeks. And you're done. Right? You got the wild card games, and you play the DS, which is 2 out of 3.
There's an element to that. You're playing a lot of games, but it's not going back due to money, and also really the excitement that it generates. This is when most people are in. Like, I don't want to see less postseason basketball, just so maybe one guy takes 1 or 2 less rest days on NBA regular season games that you're not watching.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. I'm getting to that side of it. If the Clippers get to the finals, they'll have played 21 games in the postseason. Potentially play 28. The season's 82. That's a quarter of a season. I mean, should it be that much? I don't know. I mean, you
don't lose the first 2 games of the series every time.
No, that's fair enough. But is it too much? I agree with you. It's not going backwards. There's too much money involved. These things, you never retract these things. You've never heard any conversation in any league, have you, about having less teams in the playoffs? About having less games in the playoffs?
How do we get more?
Right. And we have conversations all the time about, are they too watered down? When more than half of the teams in your league make the postseason, USL, is it too many? I feel yes. Now you're going to tell me bowl season, and it feels completely different to me because you're going to have 12 teams in the playoff, and then whatever bowl season looks like. But I think in a professional sport, and also you're playing really at different levels and different. I mean, New Mexico's playing for something different than Alabama is every year, right?
Yes.
But I'm going to play a whole regular season. What do we get? 10 out of 16 teams in each conference got into at least a play-in tournament?
Yes.
To me, that just feels like, what are we doing? But we don't talk about retraction. We don't talk about, you know what, maybe that is too much. Maybe we should go to 6. No, gosh, no, Jeff. I mean, where's the money going to come from? Okay. But that's what you get here, though. But there may be something to it. Gene hates the schedule, Jeff. Some PCL opponents play over and over, yet Tacoma is one and done. After losing a very close series to La Plaza, you'd like the opportunity to return the favor at their place. Get used to Sugar Land 52 times, I think is what it is. Omar says, Cam's game? Jeff, so this isn't Cam's game anymore? July 11th is an awkward time to pick a random basketball game at YS5.
Not.
Omar, give me a better day.
Can you just listen for like 2 minutes, Omar, when we have this discussion? Please.
JJ's going to explain to you one more time why it is placed on this random day in the summer.
It's a practice game for the Enchantment, the TBT team, who starts the TBT tournament July 16th.
This is not just some random Cam's game. This is a warm-up game for that team.
Know how to get under my skin, Murray.
Going to play in that tournament. Okay? And in fact, if that team wasn't playing in that tournament, most likely you would not have this game. Okay? So that's what this is. I don't know. Honestly, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with July? Like, give me a reason why that Sunday night in July is a bad time.
Might not work for Jeff, but it works for everyone else.
Yeah, I might not be able to be there. But I'd love to understand why it's...
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I want to see more of this, and with the response that it gets, hopefully, which is going to be good from the basketball community here in Albuquerque and the people that can make it out, I want to potentially then see UM throw their hat into the mix to be a host site.
I agree with that.
This would be phenomenal to host a regional in the summer.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I would like to see it. All right, I got something for you. And then we're going to get the phones when we get back. All in Autographs opened up a few weeks ago. A beautiful spot on Wyoming and Manal. It's a place for you to go find sports memorabilia, movie memorabilia, history memorabilia, a place that you can rent out for events. It is a museum of insane stuff, and you can take some of it home. And if you tell them over at All in Autographs that you heard about them on the opening drive, you get $25 off your purchase of $100 or more. And now they got all kinds of things coming. Steve Garvey, former Dodger great, will be coming into town. He'll be at the Albuquerque Home and Garden Show Sunday, August 15th from 10 to 11:30 for an appearance. And then he'll be back at the store at All in Autographs from 1 to 3:30 that day for signings. You can go over and meet former Dodger great Steve Garvey. What is going on at All in Autographs? If you're a Star Wars fan or a movie fan, you can go over there. You're going to be amazed at the memorabilia they have. History buffs, go take a look at their website at allinautographs.com, and you'll see some of the incredible memorabilia that they've got, former things that were in the White House and from the Apollo and all kinds of stuff. And then sports memorabilia, cards, autographs, jerseys, helmets. It is. It's fun just to sit there and look around the place. I'm going to go over there this afternoon again and just look around and enjoy it. Call them at 505-504-7575. That's 505-504-7575. The website is allinautographs.com. They are open Wednesday through Sunday. They open at 11 o'clock in the morning at 2225 Wyoming Northeast, just to the south of Manal.
We're all moving a little fast. 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsINC.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Sports Animal.
All right, we may talk to Sebastian today, too. He's got some things going on, but wrap up the high school season in the 9 o'clock hour. 505-246-0610. That's how to get to us today. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. Bobcat produces radio side. On the TV side, it's Aaron. You can watch us on all kinds of different places, including our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. Lenny, good morning. Thanks for holding. How you living?
Good. How you doing? Well, first, let's talk with the Dodgers. Did you see what Joe Kelly did with the mariachi band yesterday?
I did not.
Okay. He went up to one of the players in the band and traded one of his game jerseys for one of the guy's custom jackets he was wearing.
That's beautiful. Love that.
So that's a class deal. Now with Trevor Bauer, if those texts are real, then I'm putting it still on the players' problem, because where are you finding these women at?
Yeah, where do you find women? I mean, that's not fair. I mean, women, I mean, where do you find, I don't know.
No, what I'm saying is you have to be a little bit more careful in the position you're in when you're worth that much money. I'm not saying he did or didn't do it, but how many players do you see get in trouble?
For what?
Like that.
You
know, I'm not saying he did or didn't do it, but if the texts are real, he may get off, but he has to be quiet and shut his mouth and finally just start pitching.
Okay.
Because he's just a mouthpiece. He's good, but just stop and just pitch. Now let's go to the NBA. This season, the players got paid for all 82 games, but only played 72.
That's correct. That is correct.
Why can't the NBA do that moving forward?
Well, is that sustainable to pay them for 82 and only play 72?
No, they're getting extra money from the extended playoffs and the play-in games. On those playoff games, the teams aren't getting paid their regular money. They're getting playoff money, not their regular game check.
Yeah, I don't know the model. I would have to look at the model.
Can it be sustainable? How much money does the NBA make off their TV contract?
I don't know. Do you know the number? I don't know.
I don't.
They're not hurting.
Okay.
It's not like an NHL TV contract.
So you're saying cut the regular season down to 72 from 82?
Right. In the past 2 seasons, this included in last, they've had shorter off seasons to recover.
Yep.
This season, or next season's going to start on time. So for the teams that either got knocked out of the playoffs early or didn't make it, you're having almost 3.5 months off to recover. Now, the players that choose to go to the Olympics, I'm glad they're going. That's on them. They're cutting into their off-season recovery.
Okay.
But at a certain point, did you watch any of the play-in games, or would you have watched any of those games at the end of the season if they weren't play-in games that were relevant to the team making the playoff?
I might have watched Steph, but your point's real on that. I get that.
Okay, so that drove TV revenue.
Of course. Well, it drove ratings. It drives revenue. It drives revenue in the next package. But yeah.
Right. So I'm sorry what happened, but do you think what happened to Giannis last night couldn't have happened in any other game? Or what happened with Trae Young? What's the odds of you stepping on a ref's foot?
What happened to Trae Young has absolutely nothing to do with short off season.
Right. But even with Giannis with a short off season, he landed weird. You can't say that couldn't have happened in game 1. Let's use just Julius Randle in his rookie season. What did he play, 18 minutes?
Yeah, whatever it was.
8 minutes?
Yeah.
And he was done for the year? You can't just say it's the length of the game, the length of the season, and all this.
Man.
That's just a freak landing on his leg.
Well, and like I said earlier, like I said earlier, Lenny, I saw a report that injuries, the amount of injuries aren't up. It's just the amount of injuries to star players are up, and so the
but
profile.
That's why they're noticing it
right?
more.
No, that's my point.
If it was Cam Reddish, it wouldn't have been as big a deal. Did you know? I didn't know that Reddish hadn't played since February.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what happened to him. So it's happening to bigger name players, yes. But it can happen to any player on any given night, regardless.
I think that's right. All right, man. Good to hear you. Appreciate it. Now, look, his point. Do you think they permanently contract the season to 72?
No.
I don't think so either. $2.5 billion on a television deal I just saw?
I think if they change anything, they need to change the calendar, not necessarily games.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I think they should start the season on Christmas Day and go through now like this has been great for their television ratings. They're up against baseball, which is way less up against football and more up against baseball. They go through the summer, and then they take off from mid-July through open campus in November. I agree with you on that calendar. Edward, good morning.
Well, top of the morning, gentlemen. You know, as we close out the first half of 2021, can you believe that? You blink an eye and half a year goes by, or a decade for that matter.
Tomorrow starts the second half of the year. That's correct.
It's been a stellar first half of the year in my travels. You know, went to Vegas this past weekend, had a phenomenal time, and my son and I had a chance to meet Mark Davis. And after we briefly discussed the intricacies of the tuck rule and the finer points of men's hair fashion, I mentioned to him, by the way, he was a very graceful, elegant man and very kind to us. We got a picture with him. It was kind of cool. I told him that Cliff Branch was by the way, I wish Donald was still with us so he could hear this. I told him that Cliff Branch was my favorite Raider growing up. And he goes, ironically, that was my favorite Raider growing up. And I said he should be in the Hall of Fame. And it was a very eloquent, brief conversation. And I'm glad I have it because, he's a good man. And I told him, in honor of his father, I hope they win a Super Bowl when Tom Brady retires in about 10 years. Hey, the men's tournament, I think, I'm always looking for ways to generate new revenue because, I am an income generator. We should start a 6 foot and under league. You and I think JJ's pushing 6 feet. He probably is 6 feet.
Are you over 6 feet?
I'm 6 feet.
All right.
6 foot. Well, then we'll pass the test. And then it's 6 foot and under, to be exact and precise. And I think Grady, is probably in the 5'10" to 6 foot range. And Howard, we could put Howard, could bring him off the bench. And then I asked Bobcat. Bobcat's got 5 to give. He said he was about 5'9"-ish. So I think we should go in there and we can call ourselves the hackers and slackers. And I think we would do well and generate some income while we're at it. So those are my thoughts. But in the NBA, I have some thoughts on KD, which I can't expand on now, and all the other superstars, which maybe tomorrow I'll save that content. But one prevailing thing that I've noticed is there's superstar level, and then there's really good player all-star level. Chris Paul's not a superstar. He's an all-star, and he'll be a Hall of Famer. He's got a great career, but he cannot consistently deliver. He's played pretty bad the last few games, and they should have closed it out. They had their opportunity, and they may close it out tonight. But the difference between superstar level and really good all-star level, is the ability to continually deliver in the biggest moments. Half the country dubbed Booker Kobe Jr. after that great Game 1. Now my guy can't hit the side of an ocean.
He'll be fine.
But I know he will be fine. You're right. He's still progressing and growing in his career. But therein lies the difference, and I shared with you guys last night. If the Suns find a way to lose tonight, we're going to see the Clippers win the championship without Kawhi. If they win tonight and get into a Game 7 and things tighten up, because that injury, which is very unfortunate, and it happens, and I don't know if you can trust Atlanta, but I would love to see an Atlanta Suns series. But who knows what's going to happen? We think we know, but we really don't know. Anyway, we've lost some good people in the first half of this year. We've celebrated, and I'm eternally grateful for the past 6 months.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking my call.
See you. All right. There was a lot in that. We're going to take this break. I just ran across some news, really, really sad local news. We've lost a legend in local high school basketball. Sebastian's going to join us at 9 o'clock. We're going to talk to Sebastian about wrap up the high school season with Sebastian Noel at 9 o'clock from ProView Sports, from ProView Networks, and I'll get you the news when we come back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Here's a 1-2. That's lifted, well hit into the gap. This might clear the bases. It's going to bounce off the wall, and it will clear the bases. A bases clearing double off the bat of Nico Barella. Got the glove on it. Squeezes for a second. That's tapped on the ground. It might be academic. They'll flip it to first in time for the double play ball. Huge lead. There's the pitch. It's low. Runner going on a delayed steal, and he's going to be out at second. One-two. The runner moving. It's pulled down the line. This might be trouble, and it's a fair ball. Sandoval coming around. Coach Pineda going to send him to the plate. Here comes the tying run, and he scores. Sandoval. The throw gets away. Cooper will go to second base, and we're all tied at 6 as Sandoval scampers in.
Hit so far. That ball is driven deep to right center field, and it's gone. Second home run of the inning for the Cougars. They've got 5 runs in, and Siembieda has come roaring back here at the top of the 3rd inning. 2-run home run for Jalen Montez.
Long look in. There's a pitch. That's in the air. In shallow right. Very aggressive as Gerard Pineda will have a play at the plate. Oh, what a hose in right. The ball was waiting for him as he came home, and he was dead to rights.
2-2, nobody out. 2 runs in. There's the pitch, and that's up the middle. No, right to Francois. Back to second for a double play. That's a good play by Francois. And 0-1 to Araceli Morales. There's the pitch. Morales swings, hit to Vela. What a catch by Vela in right field. Vela coming to her, running to her left and diving.
Let's see if it falls, and it looks like the catch was made, and indeed it was for the 3rd out. Sprawling was Kayla Reed for the 3rd out. What a play. Garcia prepares, deals, and she swings it. This one looks ding dong doink. Yabba dabba doo. Grand slam by Mia Flores.
Bad news on the local scene this morning. And the word legendary is passed around, and sometimes it's overused. It's not used in this context because this gentleman is a legend, and Mike Brown passed away this morning. He had been battling illnesses, and his sons Greg and Danny coach locally, and was it the Volcano Vista team that had the Papa Brown shirts at the state tournament?
Yes.
Yeah, the girls team.
Yes, so Greg Brown coaches boys basketball over there, and his daughter plays on girls team,
which would be with Mike's granddaughter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just getting the news and the confirmation this morning. Mike Brown passed away this morning. He was the legendary longtime coach at Albuquerque Academy, and won state titles there, and made such an impact on so many people, and just good dude, just good people, man. I remember when I first got here back in the day, and going out there and learning about them, and then getting to know Greg and Danny over the years, and I sent a note out to Danny a short while ago, just sending condolences. But we'll talk with Sebastian coming up at the top of the hour, and I'm sure he'll get a little bit into the impact of Mike Brown. But just condolences to the Brown family, and Just lost a legend, man. There's so many great longtime coaches in this town, and great younger coaches too. Really good younger coaches. I think the Browns are that. I've gotten to know Sean Jimenez a little bit, the coach out of Cleveland. And you start naming people and you start leaving people out, and so I hate doing this, but there are so many good coaches here that have made so many positive impacts. But I put Mike up there. Whenever you start talking about high school basketball coaches, you always hear Ralph Tasker, Jim Hulsman, and rightfully so. But Mike Brown is in that ilk, and
Mike Brown. And never got a chance to meet him. He is one of those guys that I just have to sit back and listen, and learn about his career, what he did, and the kind of impact that he had.
Yeah, all right. And many of you, I'm sure, played for him or have kids who played for him. We're here for you. And if you want to talk stories, I'd love to hear them. Emails this morning, Jeff@sportsanimалabq.com or JJ@sportsanimалabq.com. Of course, don't forget, the Kwan's Auto Care hotline is also the same number, the NMDOT text line. You can send texts to 505-246-0610. Bruce sent me an email, said, I'm not a doctor and I don't have to play one here on the award-winning OD, but I am hearing that Giannis has ligament damage. That sure doesn't sound like something you come back from after sitting out a game. If that's in fact the case, no, it's not something you come back from after sitting out a game. I have not heard ligament damage. Have you?
I haven't seen anything yet.
Okay. I've heard all kinds of speculation. I saw what I saw. I saw what you saw. I saw the knee bend the wrong way. You ever hyperextended anything, Bob? I hyperextended my elbow. I had a dude in basketball, dove for a ball, had a guy fall on my elbow, and my arm bent in. I hyperextended my elbow. It hurt like the bejesus. And then I hyperextended my knee once. And I mean, they're incredibly painful.
The worst thing I ever did was stick a ski pole into my teeth.
How'd that feel?
Well,
stick a ski pole into
your teeth. I was going downhill and I caught an edge and went the wrong way and found the ski pole in my mouth. And
like which part of the pole?
The top of the pole.
Like the grip?
Yeah, the grip part. And that's why this one tooth is missing.
So you went down,
caught an edge,
your mouth, you went,
broke a ski,
all right,
and pole into the mouth, and I had to ski down. It was at Winter Park.
Really?
On the other side, and I had to ski down all the way down. blood just
leaking.
Bloody.
You're just leaking the whole way down.
Holding the one ski up and skiing downhill.
Wow. How'd the pole get in your mouth?
I don't know. And it was the right-hand pole, and I fell on my left side.
So, well, that makes sense. So you went down that way. The pole comes up here, and you're
I have no idea. It just.
Who knew you had to wear a mouthpiece to go skiing?
Yeah.
I have no further comment on this story.
So other than that, I've never had any kind of a sports injury.
Make it to the 9 o'clock hour if I comment on the.
Why? No comment.
Pole to the mouth story.
Yeah, it's a good creative injury.
Yeah, well, thank you for that.
Bobcat took a pole to the mouth.
So have you ever hyperextended anything? No.
I took pole in the mouth.
Tell you about this.
Bobcat took pole in the mouth.
Punctured my face.
I try to be creative.
I guess.
You did not expect that. I know that.
No. That's a good one. Recently, a lady friend, I saw her in a cast. She says, I broke my arm. I said, what happened? She says, I fell out of bed. I'm like, oh, yeah. She's like, oh, no. My husband was upstairs. I'm like, she just fell out of bed. She just fell out of bed and broke her arm.
Okay.
I'm like, you got to come up with something. Like make this thing. But you took a ski pole in the face. All right, Sebastian Noel next. We're going to wrap up the high school sports season with him from ProView Networks. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Bobcat, Aaron on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal at ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own.
Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of no-valent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Here's running.
This
This is the opening drive with two-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and JJ Buck.
All right, so a crazy. Pick your word. Everybody's got a word to describe the last 19 months or whatever, and it carries over into the high school sports season. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. It was abbreviated, but it was elongated, if that makes any sense. Abbreviated in the sense where everybody got to play, but football, cross country, everybody played abbreviated in shorter seasons, but elongated to the point where the calendar ran through the end of July. It was odd. It was imperfect. It was challenging. But by the same token, it was rewarding. It was exciting. It was validating, and I'm listening to a lot of other words. And it ended on Saturday past with the wrapping up of the state track and field meets, baseball and softball, and it ended with our guest has seen a lot more games than I have, but as good a game as I've seen. I think you put this up there with Volcano Vista and the Chavez shot at the end of the game to win a state championship for the girls' championship at the Pit from half court. The walk-off from Devin Johnson Academy after St. Pius scored 5 runs at the top of the last inning to take a 7-4 lead on Academy. And Academy coming back and winning 8-7 on the walk-off. Sebastian Noel is the big dog over at ProView Networks. He's seen a lot of high school sports, and I don't know. That was my brief summation of the season. Is that a fair one? How would you put it? How you living?
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly, I think.
Challenging, rewarding, elongated, but yet shortened. It was insane. I thought the Academy Pius game was the perfect ending to that season. To have that walk off, to walk the season off in an insane game.
Yeah, and we had in even such a short season, we had some really great championship moments in all the sports.
Yeah, it was special. I want to get into the season, but I want to get into the story of the day. I know you saw the passing of Mike Brown, and you know Greg and Danny. I knew Mike. I know Greg and Danny. I was trying to put into perspective what Mike meant to so many, and I don't know what your relationship was with him, but just your reaction to Mike's passing today.
Well, my reaction is just incredible sadness, knowing that the entire family, and especially Greg and Danny, like you said, but in their families as well. But to your other part, to the impact, I think you could argue that no one's made a bigger impact on basketball in this city. If you look at the coaches around the state or in the city in particular, you've been around long enough to know there was a time where if you weren't under the Brown tree, there's a good chance you weren't going to get a job, because those coaches under Mike Brown's tree and then Greg Brown's tree and then Danny Brown's tree, they were such good coaches that if they put in for a job, they were going to get it. And so the tree is immense, and the people influenced by Mike they're coaching and leading young men everywhere across the city.
Yeah, and probably like you, I run into people all the time who, whether they played for Mike or had kids play for Mike, and he was one of the first coaches when I got here a quarter century ago. I went over there and learned about that program and how accommodating and welcoming he was. And I run into people all the time who still talk about the impact he made on them or their families' lives.
Yeah, that's just the kind of guy he is, and that's the kind of family that, with his wife Carol, and then Danny and Greg, they're just good people, And I was thinking about this when I was on hold, as we grow older, when we go into college and then become young adults, that's when we tend to grow apart from our parents, right? Yeah. Geography does that. Yeah. Obviously, you see them maybe on the weekends, in my case, during the holidays, because they don't live in the state, but because of basketball, Danny and Greg never had to grow apart from their dad. It was constant. He was always on one of their benches, and they never had to grow apart. And that's why the closeness and the dynamic of that relationship, and that's why I just feel so bad for my friend Danny and Greg and that whole family.
That's such a great perspective. I haven't thought of it in those terms, Sebastian. They probably grew closer. They probably never stopped growing closer to their dad because they grew up and continued the quote unquote family business, right? And probably had conversations with him, and yeah, it's something that most of us don't get, and that's and I'm sure they realize how special that was.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm just talking to Danny a little bit this morning. I think they definitely realize how special that was.
Sebastian Noel is with us from ProView Networks. We're talking about the high school season, the passing of Mike Brown this morning.
Sebastian, for me, someone that I didn't get a chance to know Mike Brown. That was a little bit before my time of getting a chance to cover high school sports and then start interacting. What do you think? You mentioned the family piece to it, but someone that doesn't have the inside information, you'd say, just basketball-wise, the lasting impact, something that we should know about Mike Brown?
Well, you talked about the basketball piece, and you guys mentioned Holzman and Tasker and some of those guys, and I would argue that Mike's success there at Academy was harder and more impressive than anyone's because, I mean, let's be honest, we live in the real world. If one of these coaches, wants to get better, the recruiting happens, okay? So they can bring a kid in, and all of a sudden in basketball you bring in a couple studs, and your program's better. But, at Academy, that's not cheap. So you can't just bring in kids, right? You got to meet the academic piece first. So for him to have that sustained success there is just absolutely mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, the sustained success. All right, put a bow on the season. How would you describe it? I mean, when you look back at what was the uncertainty of everything, you guys didn't know how many, if you would do games, and then the amount of games you were able to do. I'll get into the impact ProView had, but just your thoughts on the the prep season and getting it done and everything that happened.
Well, it was a great season. You see on the emotion of the kids. I think high school sports is a microcosm of life, and as always, these athletes handle adversity and challenges so much better than adults 9 times out of 10. And you see that just in all these state championships, right? You see the adults are the ones that are, complaining about math, this, that, and the other. But it's when you see that sheer joy on the kids' face, they just handle things so much better than the rest of us do. And that kind of came out this year, I think. And then on a sports perspective, when I was watching the game you did, that great Academy game, and I was doing the La Cueva game, that's when I realized this is why I used to love baseball. And I still watch baseball, and I'm still a fan. But high school baseball is baseball in its purest form. The ball's always in play. There's always something happening. And so we've talked about this in weeks past. Everything that Major League Baseball is not anymore, high school baseball still is.
I can't agree with more. Sebastian Noel's with us on the opening drive.
Sebastian, of course, there had to be a lot of adjustments to get this season in. But in terms of things they had to do, are there any changes that you like and you could potentially see sticking around with whether it's postseason sites or something else that went on?
The basketball tournament has to go back to normal because that's really good. I don't, JJ, I don't know. I don't know if I was just ill prepared for that question or if the answer is no. That's one of those, I want to get back to, because there's some really good teams in all sports that didn't make the playoffs this year. So obviously you don't like that. You want as many kids to have the chance to compete as possible, right? And I certainly want to see the return of the jump ball for basketball. And but I think the way everyone kind of came together and realized how important activities and athletics are in a young person's life, I definitely don't want that to go away.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't want to see the basketball be just 8 teams, the 16. But in terms of, say, first-round matchups at home sites, things like that, could you see that sticking around? Or just back to, all right, when it's state championship, then it's all neutral site?
Because the Dairy Queen in Eunice is going to do really well when they get a state volleyball game at home. You know that.
There we go. Exactly. No, I mean, we had the first round host in basketball anyway when it was 16 teams. I did really enjoy the football a quote-unquote bowl series at UNM. I think that has some legs, and that needs to be given a significant amount of testing time, not just a COVID year, but how does this apply to normal, at the end of a normal 10-game schedule? How would this work? How would this look? How would this be attended? I would like to see that explored a little bit.
You know, I want as we wrap this thing up, I want to give kudos to what you guys did, and I want your perspective on the NMA. And I said this on the ProView airwaves the other day. Your crew, what Steve leads over there, and what Alden and Josh and J. Paul and Aaron and you and everybody else, JJ was part of it. The amount of content, but the quality, not just the quantity of content. You guys realized that there was a need. That parents weren't able to go into gyms or fields to see JV and C games, and you put those on the air. You guys jumping in and filling a need when it was necessary, I think is amazing considering everything that went on. And so congratulations to you guys at ProView. And then you worked quite closely with the NMA. And I want to give kudos because groups like that only get called out when people are angry. And I want to give a lot of credit to what Sally Marcus and everybody at the NMA did to get a season in. Because I think there were a lot of times, Sebastian, where I know JJ and I really doubted, were we going to have any semblance of a season? And to get everybody played, granted imperfectly, I thought was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and it speaks to leadership, and the two are very similar, whether it be our president, Steve Davis, or Sally. When you have leadership that just refuses to take the easy way out and doesn't have that mindset of, oh, we can't. The word can't is never in their vocabulary. When you have that kind of leadership, you know, things happen. And, yeah, I mean, Jeff, you said it perfectly.
You know, I'm so impressed with the way people came together. There's always an easy reason to say, yeah, we can't do it. There's always, it's always easy to say, yeah, we can't do it. COVID this, and look, I've heard so many excuses over the last 19 months like you have, and can't do it, can't happen, can't. And to find a group of people who say we're going to find a way that it does. I just kudos to you guys and the NMA. Hey, appreciate you spending all these hours and minutes and time with us. We'll wrap it up until we get into restart the high school season in August with football. But enjoy your summer. Get some golf in. Let's see if we can go out and hit a golf ball at some time. I know we talk about it a lot. But you can continue. ProView's not done. Sebastian's calling the games for Gladiators, and you guys still have a lot of content going. So let people know what's going on with ProView, and then we'll catch up with you, when football season starts.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, ProViewNetworks.com, or our YouTube channel has all of our weekly shows, so I'll have a chance to catch up with some of these state champs in baseball and softball on my program in the upcoming weeks. But yeah, no, and the Gladiators, they got a home game this week against our old head coach, Dominic Bramante, so that'll be a fun little game.
And that'll be out at Rio Rancho on Saturday, so get out and enjoy that. All right, my friend, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the summer. We'll catch up with you back here in this slot when high school football starts up, which is really in a month and a half from now anyway. So, whatever the off season means. But appreciate you spending all the time with us.
All right, be good, guys.
All right, be well. That's Sebastian Noel. I think his perspective is really good. I didn't think of it in the terms, the Mike Brown stuff, how fortunate you are. Your relationship, I think we all look back on our relationship with our fathers, right? And, we all grow, so we grow away. And they got to grow together and grow closer. So I got the look. I know we're late. We'll come back and open it up to you. Quan's Auto Care Hotline, New Mexico Department of Transportation, text line 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
2020 NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Here's a 1-2. That's lifted well hit into the gap. This might clear the bases. It's going to bounce off the wall, and it will clear the bases. A bases clearing double off the bat of Nico Barella. Got the glove on it. Squeezes for a second. That's tapped on the ground. Might be academic. They'll flip it to first in time for the double play ball. Huge lead. There's the pitch. It's low. Runner going on a delayed steal, and he's going to be out at second. One-two. The runner moving. It's pulled down the line. This might be trouble, and it's a fair ball. Sandoval coming around. Coach Pineda going to send him to the plate. Here comes the tying run, and he scores. Sandoval. The throw gets away. Cooper will go to second base, and we're all tied at 6 as Sandoval scampers in. Hit so far. That ball is driven deep to right center field, and it's gone. Second home run of the inning for the Cougars. They've got 5 runs in, and Siembieda has come roaring back here at the top of the 3rd inning. 2-run home run for Jalen Montez. Long look in, there's a pitch. That's in the air. In shallow right. Very aggressive as Gerard Pineda will have a play at the plate. Oh, what a hose in right. The ball was waiting for him as he came home, and he was dead to rights. 2-2, nobody out. 2 runs in. There's the pitch, and that's up the middle. No, right to Francois. Back to second for a double play.
Grady's birthday's today.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Grady. Oh, yeah. Yep. All right, 505-246-0610. It's where we are. It's the Quan's Auto Care hotline. It is also the NMDOT text line. Jason sent me a note. Jason, man, where you been? It's good to get a Jason email. I know it's not Aggie football or basketball season, but it's actually kind of good to hear from you. It's been a minute. He says, good morning, OD. Hey, hey, Jeff. Coach Mike Brown, author and architect of the Albuquerque Academy basketball dynasty, passed away. I have thoughts as someone who had a family member who played for Coach Brown. Prayers to Danny, Greg, and Sean. And yeah, thank you, Jason. And that's what we've been talking about. I just got a text back from Danny. his son, and I just asked Danny if it's okay that I read his thoughts, and as soon as I get the okay, I will do that for you. Bruce said, "I'm worried about Bobcat staying healthy, Jeff, after grueling back-to-backs in the house every weekend. What havoc is the additional wear and tear of doing the OD going to do to Bobcat's body? Nothing that a damn ski pole won't. I'll tell you that right now." I mean, are you mentally, physically, are you okay working the stress of that show, and then coming in here and it's a different stress, I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Right.
No, actually, I'm feeling really good about all this.
Are you? You're liking this?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, you know what happens when you like something when it starts to work. They got to fix it. You understand that, JJ? He's looking at me like, if something works, then we got to fix it.
Yeah.
You know how that works.
I go. My motto is more: if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's most people's motto. Do you know a corporate setting where that holds true? Do you know one corporate setting where, hey, if it's working well, let's leave it alone?
No.
All right. I'm just saying.
Usually the mentality is, I have to prove that my job is worthwhile, so I'm going to start changing things.
That's why there's so many people.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we have a good corporate team, right?
Of course we do.
Fantastic.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, I mean, except for this corporation. Yeah. Otherwise. Yeah. Except for this one.
Okay.
Right. All right. Big news last night. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, 2-time MVP, goes down with a hyperextended knee. Bucks lose the game. They were already losing the game. They lose to the Hawks 110-88. The series is tied 2 games apiece. I've not seen it, and I've been looking everywhere I can look, JJ. Have you seen anything this morning?
Nothing yet.
All right. Because I've seen nothing. Except for the one email we got said, I heard he had ligament damage. Well, I mean, okay. I've not seen that. So
nothing from the big names reporting on basketball.
All right, we got one of our emailers beating Woj on this one.
Looks like it.
All right. Look, I'm down with it if that's the way it is. You had Herman Marquez almost throwing a no-hitter for the Rockies last night. I think we got to get into this too a little bit. So you saw TCU's basketball program was hit with some sanctions during the week, and one of the coaches is now a New Mexico State coach. Corey Barker is on Chris Jans' staff, and his name surfaced in the FBI college basketball corruption case, stemming back to when he was assistant at TCU. He's allegedly accepted $6,000 from a guy who wanted to be a sports agent, and he's said to have lied about it, and then he was fired from TCU back in March of 2019, and the NCAA on Tuesday, which would be yesterday, placed TCU on 3 years probation. They fined the university $5,000 and 1% of its men's basketball budget. I just, what does a $5,000 fine do to TCU? I laugh at some of this stuff sometimes.
Yes.
What does $5,000 do to TCU as a fine? I'm just curious. Anyway, so Barker was hired by Jans back in September of 2019. And Barker worked with Jans as an assistant at Bowling Green when Chris was the head coach at Bowling Green 2014-2015. Now, the NCAA claims, quote, this according to the NCAA, that Barker's, quote, acceptance of money in exchange for his agreement to steer players to the management company established a level 1 unethical conduct violation. TCU accepted responsibility for the level 1 violation. The assistant coach did not, end quote. So the NCAA has issued a 5-year show cause order for Barker. That means any NCAA school, including New Mexico State, who employs him must restrict him from any athletically related duties unless it shows cause why the restrictions should not apply. So they got a little bit of an issue down there. New Mexico State did respond yesterday saying that the coach is exploring his options to appeal. They issued a statement that says, quote, since coming to our university, Coach Barker has carried himself with integrity, while adhering to the policies and procedures in place at our university. Additionally, he has fostered an outstanding relationship with our student athletes and actively works with them to help meet their athletic and academic goals, end quote. So this is a situation where it feels like they're going to have to make a move here, right? Because he's got to show cause.
Yeah, especially when you look at how it went down. He didn't necessarily cooperate at TCOK, but he cooperated with the NCAA. They come down with their statement. You can appeal, but it doesn't look like at this point the NCAA is probably going to move off of that determination. And thus, if he has a show cause penalty, affects his job at New Mexico State.
And it affects his job at New Mexico State, I would think. And so they can appeal, to your point, if the NCAA does not accept the appeal, which this is one of those where you feel that they're going to really dig in, then Corey Barker probably is going to have to be replaced on that staff. So that's something that you can follow.
It's been the assistants that have taken the hardest hit.
There's no doubt in
that investigation.
There's no doubt, right? I mean, the head coaches in all of this, except for Sean Miller. Well, Sean Miller got fired. I don't know if that was because of this, but he lost his job finally at Arizona, at the University of Arizona. But to your point, it's been the Tony Benfords, the Corey Barkers. Those are the guys who were assistant coaches at high-profile programs who have been the guys who have taken the hits in this. Yeah, absolutely. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. That's how to get to us. And again, emails are coming in this morning. Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com.
I got a hit for you that can change your life in a positive way. I'm talking about high-intensity interval training. F45 Functional Fitness, just 45 minutes. You're going to get yourself a fast, fun, and results-driven workout. The program is fantastic, and I'm really enjoying the new set of classes they have dropped this month. The workouts are phenomenal. They'll challenge you a variety of ways throughout the week. We're talking strength training, cardio work. So you're focusing on that endurance. You're going to get that stamina. You're going to get that heart rate up. So check them out, f45training.com. Download the F45 app. See what they're all about. Check out the Northeast Heights location. Really good access from wherever you're coming from in town, Paseo I-25. Sign up for your 7-day free trial on the app. So get in the gym and check it out. And what I love about F45 Training is the variety of workouts, but also when you book your class on the app, you're getting your workout in. You're not keeping your fingers crossed. You're going to show up and say, well, I would like to do some chest today, but hopefully the benches are available. Hopefully the dumbbells are available. You don't have to have plan A, B, C, or D. Your plan is book your workout, show up, knock it out for 45 minutes, and then get on with your rest of your day. But you're getting a fantastic workout and putting yourself on the right track when it comes to your fitness. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app today. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Foo Fighters are coming.
To Araceli Morales. There's the pitch. Morales swings, hits a Vela. What a catch by Vela in right field. Vela coming to her, running to her left and diving.
This one swing, it's going to go straight. Let's see if it falls, and it looks like the catch was made, and indeed it was for the third out. Sprawling was Kayla Reed for the third out. What a play. Garcia prepares, deals, and she swings it. This one looks ding dong doink. Yabba dabba doo. Grand slam by Mia Flores. Four ribbies for Mia as she just unleashed on that softball.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems.
Local story this morning is the passing of legendary Albuquerque Academy basketball coach Mike Brown. Of course, his two sons, Danny and Greg, have been high school coaches around the metro area for a number of years and incredibly successful as well. I've been texting with Danny, sent the condolences, and I said, "You doing okay?" He says, "I'm good." And he said this about his dad. He said he went out like he lived. Let me say that again. He said he went out like he lived his life with grace, dignity, integrity, strength, and most of all, thinking about others. He was still fathering, coaching, teaching. Unbelievable. But thank you so much for checking on us. So that's from Danny Brown this morning, talking about his father, Mike, who passed away this morning. And I don't even know what to say sometimes. When something like that happens, and to go out with that grace and just still thinking about others. I mean, you always, I don't know. God bless that man. God, just a good man, an insane coach who left an indelible positive impact on the lives of so many. 505-246-0610 is how to get to us today. 888-922-0610. You can send emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com, and find us on the Twitter _JJBuck. Texts, by the way. Texts. Utilize the text machine. Thumb out a message to us on the NMDOT text line at 505-246-0610. All right, you get Clippers and Suns tonight. You and I both are of the belief, I think now, while as much as you thought the Clippers were dead, if they win tonight, we think the winner of the series wins Game 6, don't we? Obviously, if it's the Suns, they win, it's over.
Yes.
I mean, that's quite obvious.
I'm going Paul George, Game 7. Call me crazy.
But see, the crazy part is I agree with that. I want to argue with you. I want to tell you it's crazy. I want to tell you it's the dumbest thing you've ever said. But it's not. I'm with you, and I bought into PG-13. And I don't know where this is going to go, because every time you think you've got these playoffs figured out, it will go another way. And it has absolutely shown us from round one all the way through now. And injuries are going to play a huge part in this. But right now, to me, the biggest winner in these playoffs has been Paul George.
I agree with that.
It was a week ago Chris Paul. It was Trae Young. You could look at different guys. It was Devin Booker for a minute. But as of today, and look, it's going to change, and it may change, and he can end up being the biggest loser in this whole thing. But as of now, if he gets this team to the finals without Kawhi Leonard, the biggest winner in this playoffs as an individual star rising is Paul George.
It will be Paul George. And even if they lose this game tonight, I don't expect Paul George to go 2 of 19 from the field.
And then we have another story, right? If he does have one of those.
Falls on his face, and it's a terrible game, and they can't get anything going. It's going to be really frustrating. But for me, the Paul George narrative has changed, and it's going to be positive more so than anything else, just to see what he did throughout the entire postseason, but then also how he led this team when Kawhi Leonard went down. Even if he struggles, I'm going to have a positive belief in Paul George. And this is why I look at this team and this works. And of all the squads that if you don't win right now, because this is as wide open as it's ever going to be when we talk about just conference finals, the injuries, the situations that we're seeing with across the board, I still believe the Clippers feel that they are the closest. That they say, we run it back with Kawhi Leonard, we can be back in this situation. These other teams, that's not the feeling. You think you might have a good young core. You think you might be on to something. But how many times have we seen that team that we're like, oh, they're going to be back, and you never sniff it again?
Let me tell you something. I think everybody's feeling that because in the West right now, the Lakers are out. You figure LeBron and AD are going to be healthy next year, and they're going to add. They're going to build. You're looking at what Utah's built. You're looking at what may happen in Portland. You're looking at Golden State, who didn't even make the playoff field this year. They made the play-in. But you realize they're getting Klay Thompson back, and they are going to add a piece. If they add a Pascal Siakam to a Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, to your point, next year, everything's out of the way. Circumstances have lined up for whoever wins this thing. It will be the perfect circumstance. Now, I'll go back to what we had the conversation in the first hour. This is not an asterisk season. Whoever wins this thing damn earned it. They were the deepest, best team, and they battled injury. Everybody did. I mean, Phoenix to the less extent thus far, and we're not done. But on your narrative of Paul George, it completely reverses if he goes 3 for 15 tonight and they lose the game. It goes back to the same crap that you've been listening to about Paul George going in. Well, there he was. The series on the line. Yeah, he got him there, but series on the line and playoff P return. Like, as big of a night as this is for Chris Paul, and I think it's a huge night for Chris Paul, it's just as big for Paul George. I mean, you can say, which Paul is it bigger for, Chris Paul or Paul George? Because, and it's Paul for all.
Yeah, and for the more pressure's on Paul George because he has to play at a higher level. But for Chris Paul, it's about steadying force. The best player on the team is Devin Booker.
So I'll go the other way with you. I think it's more pressure on Chris Paul because I don't know that he's getting back.
Because he has.
Well, I think Paul George
weapons.
Yeah, he's got weapons, and he may not get back here. Paul George figures next year I'm going to have Kawhi back, and we're going to add, and we have an opportunity to be back here. I don't know that Chris Paul at 36 years old is ever going to get this close again.
So I'm with you right there, just in terms of tonight's game.
Yeah,
Chris Paul for what's on the line versus like the level that the Paul has to play to. Like Paul George has to just.
Well, yeah, I mean individually for this typical one basketball game. There's more
on Chris Paul.
Yeah, there's more on Paul George of the Clippers because. He's got to. He's got to be the guy for that team, that team to function. Where Chris Paul has Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. But as far as long-term legacy pressure, winning a championship, the reputation of the individual player, I think it's more on the Suns. Chris Paul. Now I'm confusing myself. Chris Paul, Paul George, Paul George. There's more on Chris Paul. Because I don't know that he gets back here.
How do you think Cliff Paul feels?
Cliff is just sitting there wearing his khakis and his red sweater with Jake from State Farm rooting for his brother. That's what they're doing. When is Chris Paul getting back here? And by the way, that whole conversation about him opting out of his $42 million next year because he's going to go get paid more somewhere else, that conversation's kind of quieted a little too, right? At 36 years old, he's not going to get more money or be in a better position
than he is right now.
There's no way he's in a better position than he is right now. Like, that team can be back next year. And by the way, in free agency, and whoever's in the free agent class, Phoenix has now become a really, really attractive place to go if you're a free agent. Do I want to go play with Chris Paul for another year, and then there's Devin Booker and there's DeAndre Ayton, and oh, by the way, it's Phoenix, and it's a really cool place to live, and there's tons to do and beautiful women everywhere and great weather? Yeah, I kind of dig that. Like he's not finding a better spot, but I'm firmly in the place where, for long-term legacy, for reputation, Paul George may get back. I don't know that I think Chris Paul's got that many more chances. And if he's on another team that blows a 3-1 lead in the conference championship, like that's going to be wrapped around his neck like a necklace for a long, long time. I don't know how you get rid of that.
That is going to be a Flavor Flav sized weight that'll be carried.
They won the first 2 games of the series, or they split them? They split these 2, right? Clippers didn't go down 2-0 again.
Yeah, they did.
They did all 3 series?
Yes.
All right, so that's even more. And your team won the first 2 games without you. And then you came back and they had a 3-1 lead and you lost. Yeah, there's pressure on Paul George. But to me, more pressure on who? It's
Because Chris Paul was supposed to be the knockout blow.
That's right.
It's they're up 2-0. Yes, they were still close games, but there's no way the Clippers could do it again.
That's right.
There's no way they're clawing out of this hole, especially with Chris Paul coming back.
I rest my case, Your Honor. Tell me I'm wrong. It's the opening drive. 505-246-0610. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of Novalent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings.
All right, headed into a big night. I think you get Stanley Cup tonight, too, don't you? Did I get Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight? Final. There's only one of them. Bob, you know the difference, right? Stanley Cup is final, singular. NBA Finals, that's plural. Now, if you can figure out the difference, I'm listening. But one is final, singular. The other is finals, plural. Understand them? Learn it, love it, live it. No word yet on, that I've seen anyway, on the status of Giannis Antetokounmpo, the two-time most valuable player in the National Basketball Association, who left last night with a hyperextended knee. I've seen nothing. Have you?
Nada.
I continue to look for that. But when we find something, I will let you know. United play tonight. On the road, they will be in Salt Lake City, Real Monarchs, a team who is just one positive result and sits at the bottom of the table. And this should be, I don't know if you need a get well night. I mean, United had been playing very, very well until getting beat 3-1 in Colorado Springs on Friday past, where they got Haji buried. This should be a get right and go on the road and get 3 points.
This is a very favorable position to get 3 road points. And as you said, it's not, you got beat by a team that was better. Like, this Switchbacks team isn't just bottom of the table.
Tell people that.
They were better on the night.
They were better on
the final third.
Yeah,
and the Switchback team isn't the squad that we've seen the last few years. As people are learning the USL Championship in the region and what the season has been like last year and this year. They got some nice talent. That was evident. And now this is a team that, Real Monarchs are a little bit different. They're kind of truly the feeder team for RSL and MLS, and that's
Real Salt Lake, the MLS team, yeah.
And so there's a lot more younger talent. Now, Charlie Weehan, keep an eye on him, brother of Chris Weehan, signed a couple weeks ago, so good to see him on the pitch for Monarchs.
So I wonder about this. I heard Troy Lesane say yesterday, talking about, and you and I have talked about this difference, and I told you I noticed the big difference one day in the airport where we were traveling to Reno one day, and we saw United on one flight. Wow, older guys, and then we saw LA Galaxy 2 was on our flight up to Reno, and a bunch of just young, fresh-looking young guys. The difference being a team like Galaxy 2, Real Monarchs, they are the second team for the MLS team. They are a true feeder team. They have players who are signed to the MLS team, but it's a developmental squad, and so it's a different approach as far as roster construction in the USL. Troy said there might be up to 5 guys on the roster today who are down from the MLS team that were not on the roster when these two teams last met.
Yeah, there's a lot more movement in that regard, and also a commitment to playing younger players a lot more with some of these squads. And sometimes you'll see a team like the Switchbacks that's had an affiliation with the Rapids, but they take a little bit of a different approach where they get more aggressive in the offseason, and they kind of give them a little bit more power to bring in veteran players. Where the Monarchs, they're majority going to just bring in young guys, run them through, give the academy products players playing time, and you can have your moments. Like, they won the USL Championship. It was 3 years ago now.
Yep.
But more times than not, they're just going to go back to keeping it young.
And the difference is the priority on winning, right? Where United, an independent team who are signing players, they made it very clear their priority is to win. Where Galaxy 2, Real Monarchs, would be much more like you would hear from the Isotopes. We're a developmental team, and our priority is to develop for the big club.
You can definitely have your moments, but you're going to see less consistency from squads that have such a big affiliation. Because there's a lot of teams that kind of have the connection, but this is one where you look at it and there is a tremendous amount of player back and forth and player development with those two teams.
Yeah. So as we're in our third year of this, I'm starting to wonder what the right way to construct your team is. You saw a couple of long-term contracts announced, long-term for a couple of years, for Armando Moreno and for Kalen Ryden. Is that the right way to go, or do you consistently want to be turning over the core of your roster in this league?
Well, I think some of it, too, is just the financial ability. Like, a lot of teams don't necessarily...
Is there a cap in this league?
I think there's a cap, but I don't know if there's a lot of franchises that can just offer multiple people
like United can
multiple year deals, and I'm not sure necessarily on the guarantees. What it does is, you keep those players around, but it's also potentially betting that someone else takes an interest in them, and thus, if Kalen Ryden or Armando Moreno, a lot of people say, oh, those could be MLS players. Well, if that is the case, if they're under contract, you can get a transfer fee for their services,
and so it's beneficial,
as opposed to just them signing a 1-year deal and then leaving as a free agent.
We had this conversation off the air, I think, but you hear about Armando Moreno or Chris Weehan at the time, or Devin Sandoval, or these guys could be in the MLS. They should be in the MLS, and then you see a game like last week, where there was a difference in talent from the very top of who was on that pitch to guys who are really good. But then there's Haji Berry, who, I don't know, I'm not going to pretend to be a soccer aficionado. I've been watching enough. I can see the difference between that guy and that guy. And there was one or two guys on the other team that were better than everybody else on the field that day.
Yeah, there's guys in this league that, just like we see in AAA baseball, might be timing, just need to get back on track, missed their opportunity, but there's still not all of these guys were missed, and there are a few that do stand out. I still believe, Chris Weehan is one of those dudes that just tremendous. But then you also have the reminders, like you go back to the Open Cup run against Minnesota. And that was an eye-opener.
Different day.
When it was
Minnesota
United, and they're like, this is our first team starting 11.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, and they turn on. Tommy, you got about 30 seconds. What's up?
Hey, what's up? Tommy the Truth Back at you. Just want to say have a great day today, guys. Love the show. No prediction here. Suns are going to close them out.
All right.
I said in 6. Suns are going to close them out. And Giannis, suck it up and play. Just go.
Ooh, that's a big take.
My guy.
See ya. Yeah. Never mind that ligament damage. If in fact it's ligament damage. All right. We'll see if it's Suns in 6. We get a game 6 tonight, and that will be in Los Angeles. We'll talk about it tomorrow morning. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd after that. True Leo and Carlisle with the Sports Bar this afternoon. Starts at 4. No isotopes today. Wednesdays are off in AAA baseball. Thank you to Sebastian Noel, ProView Networks, for being with us today. Gato Roberto and Aaron, terrific work. Thank you. What do you got? Big day today?
Huge day.
You always got a big day today.
Always.
Go kill it. Enjoy the day, boys and girls. Be good to each other, please. We'll be back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio beginning at 7 a.m. if you can make it. We invite you to join us then. Be good to each other. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. See you tomorrow.